Hurt isn't meant to be permanent. It's meant to function like a signal, an indicator that something happened, whether that trauma was physical, emotional, spiritual, or otherwise. The problem is that what begins as an indicator can slowly become the driver of someone's character. Is that good or bad? It depends on what the hurt person decides to identify with. Because hurt leaves behind a memory and an experience. The person has to confront it and acknowledge what's causing the pain in real time. That requires honesty, and it requires asking a hard but necessary question. Is what I'm holding on to beneficial, or is it detrimental? In many cases, what happens, in my opinion, is that validation is pursued, not simply to be understood, but to feed the sensation of self-justification, rather than to identify the deeper reason the hurt continues. It's not that the hurt isn't real, it's that the person can begin to choose hurt as their reality and their identity. They become what they feel, and instead of truly confronting the wound becomes a badge, something worn as pride, honor, or proof. Sympathy is then sought when empathy is the greater solution. When empathy is properly received and when it's honored by the person who is hurting, transparency and honesty become easier to activate. Healing becomes less complicated. Forgiveness starts to feel like a superpower, not because it denies what happened, but because it loosens the grip of what happened. And the history that once felt necessary to hold becomes easier to release. That history doesn't disappear. It transforms. It becomes a lesson instead of a prison, something that shapes wisdom, not identity. It becomes fuel for growth and a foundation for future transformation.